As reported by Inkor media outlet, in the Kupiansk direction, Russian commanders have organized the so-called death conveyor. Here, soldiers are sent on assaults without the necessary equipment. One of the officers of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade, called Acrobat, spoke about the cruel treatment of servicemen who are forced to go into battle. They, I apologize, dilute their coffee with urine to somehow drink it. These are not isolated cases. That is, they have a rather problematic history with water, logistical problems. The Russian military employs special personnel known as pushers to forcibly move soldiers into combat positions. They will transport soldiers from one location to another and force them to participate in the offensive, even if they lack necessary equipment. There have been cases where soldiers have been given machine guns and forced to advance, while in shackles. Information about the death conveyor in the Kupiansk direction indicates the implementation of brutal strategies by the Russian side in Ukraine. Soldiers are sent on dangerous missions without proper support and equipment, which puts their lives at risk. The situation in the Kupiansk direction reflects significant problems in the organization of Russian offensive operations. The lack of proper support and harsh management methods lead to catastrophic consequences for soldiers, causing concern not only among military personnel but also among the international community. These facts underline the seriousness of the humanitarian crisis arising from the conflict. In this case, the area is full of Russian corpses. Amid the focus on the Donbas region further south and its cities, including Pokrovsk, Kupiansk in the northern Kharkiv region on the Oskil River has drawn less attention. But the slow death of Kupiansk, as it once was, dragged out over 2 years and more, is a metaphor for the cities of Ukraine's front line, ground in the teeth of Russia's slow-moving combine of violence. Gone is the small city center market, selling dried fish, honey, and vegetables. Homes that dotted the hillside are wrecked by shells. The fields outside the city, bordering the river, are punctuated by craters. Occupied in the first months of Russia's full-scale invasion, Kupiansk was liberated in September 2022, largely undamaged as Russian forces pulled back towards the border. The devastation came later, as Moscow sought to capture it once again, subjecting it to aerial and artillery bombardment. Its forces moved forward to their current partial encirclement, with Russian troops now in some positions on the Oskil's west bank. When The Guardian interviewed Kupiansk's mayor, Andriy Besedin, 2 years ago, it was in his office in the city center. Now based in Kharkiv, he has not been able to reach the city since June. The situation is really difficult in Kupiansk. It is on the real zero line of combat. The Russians are trying to take the city. They are making efforts every day. They have put up flags at the edge of the city and tried to claim that they have taken it. But it remains in Ukrainian hands, he said. These days, he said, there are no buildings that are undamaged and nothing works. There is no gas and no electricity. According to our information, there are just over 600 people on the west side of the Oskil River, said Besedin. There are evacuations every day, and now the evacuation zone has been widened because there are Russian units on the right, which the military is trying to push out.
French police acknowledged major gaps in the Louvre's defenses on Wednesday, turning this month's dazzling daylight theft into a national reckoning over how France protects its treasures. According to Associated Press, Paris Police Chief Patrice Faure told Senate lawmakers that aging systems and slow-moving fixes left weak seams in the world's most visited museum. There is a technological step that was not taken, he said, noting parts of the video network are even still analog, producing lower quality images that are slow to share in real time. A long-promised revamp, a $93 million project requiring roughly 60 kilometers of new cabling, will not be finished before 2029 to 2030, he said. For also disclosed that the Louvre's authorization to operate its security cameras quietly expired in July and wasn't renewed, a paperwork lapse that some see as a symbol of broader negligence after thieves forced a window to the Apollo Gallery, cut into cases with power tools and fled with 8 pieces of the French crown jewels within minutes while tourists were inside. Officials say 2 suspects were arrested over the weekend, including one stopped at Charles de Gaulle Airport as he tried to leave France. Under French rules for organized theft, custody can run up to 96 hours, that limit expires late Wednesday, when prosecutors must charge the suspects, release them, or seek a judge's extension. The Louvre values the 8 stolen pieces at about $102 million. None has been confirmed recovered. The theft has also exposed an insurance blind spot. Officials say the jewels were not privately insured. The French state self-insures its national museums, because premiums for covering priceless heritage are astronomically high, meaning the Louvre will receive no payout for the loss. The financial blow, like the cultural wound, is total. Ford pushed back on quick fixes. He rejected calls for a permanent police post inside the Palace Museum, warning it would set an unworkable precedent and do little against fast, mobile crews.
Vous voudrez bien excuser mon plan de fonction, évidemment. Je ne vais pas dans le strict détail l'ensemble. Un plan, un schéma directeur de la sécurité dans le cadre du plan de renaissance du Louvre souhaité par le chef de l'État a été mis en place depuis 2021. Pour autant, les marchés publics devraient être passés dans les jours, dans les semaines qui viennent, ce qui peut nous conduire à penser qu'entre l'étude des marchés publics, la signature des marchés et l'ensemble des travaux, a priori il y a 60 km de câbles à tirer pour un budget grosso modo de 80 millions d'euros. On peut imaginer qu'il y a effectivement un certain nombre de délais et je n'imagine pas que tout ça soit réalisé avant 2029-2030 potentiellement, ce qui conduit à se poser la question de l'intervalle entre le constat de 2021 et aujourd'hui sur la prise en compte de l'urgence de la situation et peut-être des procédures alternatives d'accompagnement pour essayer de compenser ou en tout cas de minimiser les risques entre le sujet de la détection de cette forme d'obsolescence et l'importance des travaux à réaliser.
Non, absolument.
Merci. Je vais passer la parole. Il y a un pas technologique qui n'a pas été franchi à un moment donné, étant entendu qu'une partie des caméras ne sont pas encore toutes numériques, elles sont parfois analogiques, ce qui évidemment est un frein à la transmission dans le flux informatique des données d'une part, et d'autre part peut-être aussi dans la qualité du traitement des images.
Merci messieurs pour vos interventions. Alors dans cette situation quand même assez...
J'y suis fermement opposé pour 2 raisons. Parce que si nous donnions droit à cette demande, en fait, tout l'établissement demanderait à ce que nous installions un musée, un commissariat dans chacun des musées ou chacune des infrastructures étatiques ou pas, d'ailleurs, qui couvrent notre territoire. Et je pense que là, évidemment, nous aurons quelques difficultés, étant entendu, en plus qu'en général, quand on est cambrioleur, on ne reste pas dans l'endroit où on a cambriolé, mais on essaie d'aller plutôt à l'extérieur pour sortir les bijoux.